Okay, brief introduction to the self-inquiry process which we'll be doing together as a group. Okay, I'll just speak through the practical points of self-inquiry. So I would say the practical points of self-inquiry is that it's releasing everything that we are not, i.e. everything that is within the realm of the limited, is releasing that through being the detached witnessing of that. I tend to call them objects. So I'll elaborate on that. So this is my favorite analogy. Some of you have seen this many times. But anyway, this is a mug. This is a mug. Okay, now the mug is an object, right? Now, for me, generally I think for most people, it's a meaningless object. It has no value, interest, or ascribed meaning. It's not like a loaded, emotionally loaded object. Yeah. And for most people, they don't, unless you're a mug collector, which would be a bit of a spanner in the spanner in the works. If you're a mug collector, then this would be the only thing that would be memorable for the whole 2 hours we were here. You see, you'd be enmeshed with the mug, and you'd think you are the mug, and there'd be nothing in your experience except a mug. But I'm hoping we haven't got any mug collectors in here for today, and so. When it's seen, it's what I call detached witnessing of an object. Or detached, yeah, what does that mean? It's being witnessed neutrally. And when an object, I'm calling this an object, but we'll go into that. When an object is witnessed neutrally, i.e. it has no attachment, it has no meaning, it's not interesting, there's no big value ascribed to it, there's no huge projection around it. It's seen to be off in the distance, and there seems to be detached witnessing, and it's very clear that the mug could never be you. Okay? So that's the basis of self-inquiry. Now, I think everyone would agree with me that's a neutral object, and no one would say they're a mug, or be confused that the mug is them. You see? Then you'd be a mug, wouldn't you? I had to say that one. Or a muggle, yes. But anyway, so, okay, now, then who am I really? So that's what's called self-inquiry. What am I, or who am I, or what is my true, absolute nature? So it's clear that something like a mug, no one's got any confusion. In fact, when it's a mug, i.e. it's a meaningless neutral object which is being observed with no emotional attachment, it's very clear that there's a space that it's got nothing to do. It's not even near to your nature. Yeah, I think we're all nodding. Yeah. Okay, good. So here comes the next bit. So I'll give now, and we'll be exploring this thoughts, passing thoughts. You know. Are thoughts what I am, or is there the experiencing if one detached from one's thoughts and had observation of the thoughts without projecting interest, meaning or value to any particular thought? It doesn't, like all thoughts are equally neutral. Through the self-inquiry practice that we'll be doing is to see, are you, through the practice, okay, thoughts are passing by. Are the thoughts me, or is there witnessing, or is there detached witnessing of thoughts? And the recognition that these are objects which are not an aspect of self, but are just passing by. Can that clarity, through the process, and self-inquiry, you may get questions on this, it's not a mental process. Okay, I'll very quickly give a few pointers on to experience, to have the experience that one is not one's thoughts clearly, and to have this detached viewing of thoughts, and to have that clarity you cannot use your head to sort this puzzle out. You cannot think your way. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious. If you try and use your thinking, that's a concept. You'll think, oh yeah, I'm not my thoughts, I believe that. You've just used your thinking to try and believe it. But that will not work. So the recognition with thoughts is that the reason, like if a thought came up, the sky is blue, that would be a neutral thought. Nothing would be attached to that. It would be quite easy. Actually, in truth, you wouldn't even notice it. It would be like a subliminal thing, and it wouldn't block the present moment, the eternal now. It'd be so meaningless. So there's the clue. Why do people get enmeshed in their thoughts and suddenly believe that they are their thoughts or claim that they are their thinking? And it's because people have a lot of thoughts which they claim as being interesting, or they get attached to, or there's meaning with. A strong thought with meaning is called a belief, and you feel like it's you. So again, there were some clues there about, well, if it's a thought, can there be detached viewing of the thought? Can there be detached viewing or witnessing of all thoughts without hooking into? The only reason you hook into a thought or an object is because it's given meaning or there's an interest or an attachment to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't block your true nature being experienced. So thoughts, okay, if you're new especially, I want you to see, what about your body? What about feelings or locations in your body? Well, this is usually more advanced. But let's say, for example, there is a pain in my foot. Well, that would, a lot of people would believe that I am the pain in the foot. It's me. It's part of me. But then, it's an object, just like a mug. It seems to be located there, like the mug was located there. So actually, so something is aware of it, which is not that object. So it's being observed from somewhere. It might be seeming to be very enmeshed to begin with, but can you be the detached observing of that sensation? And can you have no association? Can it be completely detached? And then, if you get to that experience, is it clear that you are the detached witnessing of that phenomena or not? So you need to report back your experiencing, even of things happening in the body. Is there such a thing in your practice for the next 5 minutes of actually experiencing detached viewing of sensations, but actually having that clarity, it's over there, it's not your nature? So you can look at things like thoughts, sensations in the body, images, like a memory. Suddenly you remember your pet dog from when you were 5. Well, is that image you? Or is there actually something like detached witnessing of any image that that goes forth, back and forth? Are you an image, or are you that which witnesses all images that come and go? So check that out in your practice. So we have things to check out: feelings in the body, location of the body, even like location. Like if you feel you're located, these are more advanced, but if you feel you're located in this area, is there a detached observing of this area which is not in area? Very advanced is time, but I have been talking to somebody about time. Something is tracking time unconsciously. Is there something that's observing any sense of tracking time? And is that which observes time passing, is that in time or is that timeless? Check it out through your own experiencing. Okay? So we've got feelings in the body, thoughts, images, anything else that appears and seems to be you. Check out if it's observed. I'll give everyone a clue. If it can be witnessed to come and go, it's up to look at, to see. Like that thought wasn't here a second, it's here now, and then it's gone. Are you the observation of this whole phenomenon, or was that thought you? In theory, if that thought was you, then when that thought disappeared, you should disappear. So, are you a thought, or are you a sensation? Are you a location? Are you a time? Are you beyond all of these? So these are things for you to explore, and we're going to give you guys 5 minutes, and then we'll open up for quick feedback, and then I'll give some feedback on that, and then we'll have another go. So I'm not going to take feedback now, so I'm going to plunge you guys in for 5 minutes, and then I'll tell you stop in 5 minutes' time. Okay, everyone have a go.